Now entering the ring is Class 1 4-H Junior Dairy Cattle Showmanship. This is the first call for Class 2 4-H Seniors. Please be ready.
All right, so we're back here. We're judging the dairy calves. Damn, this microphone got loud on us today. I like it. We're gonna do our 4-H juniors here. I had them walk in, set them up a couple of times. My biggest thing when you come into showmanship, guys, is just calm, relax, and just get your animal set up as quickly as possible. Both these ladies do a very good job in being competitive and having that ultra intense look, which I do like. I think there's one lady in here that just gets them set up just a little bit better, and that's going to be your Holstein heifer over here. Congratulations.
In second place, Riley Pollock, and in first place, Hannah Yunt. Next in the ring, we have Class 2 4-H Seniors.
All right, so we're back here, and we're going to pick your champ showman, and this showman will go on to your round robin. So we're going to pick your round robin person that's going to go into the round robin competition. Let's give these kids a round of applause. We got some different showing styles out here. We got some different breeds out here. I think there's different types and kinds of terms of how people show. Some people are a little bit more intense. Some people are a little bit more relaxed. I asked them some questions. The questions I asked were pretty basic, pretty easygoing. The first question was, what breed is your animal? And they all nailed that. And then the second question, I got it split 50-50. 2 of them got it right, and 2 of them got it wrong. Not necessarily wrong, just not the right number. But that's what kind of separated a couple of it, a little bit of it. And it wasn't easy because these 2 showmen come in here and they're both ultra competitive. They both get them stuck. They hold them to the best of their ability. They get them looking the way they're supposed to. They don't come out here too relaxed. They don't come in here staring at me like I'm a freak show. They give me that appropriate amount of eye contact that I'm looking for. But I'm gonna let these 2 battle it out a little bit more, and I'm gonna start by picking your 4th place showman. That's gonna be the young lady over here. Go ahead, give her a round of applause. She came into there in that first heat with the young lady right there in front of her, and she just didn't quite have it. The heifer right now just not really wanting to set up to comparable to that Holstein heifer. She's a little bit slower moving, and then I would probably pull a little bit more of that hair up on her back there. It looks like it got natted down a little bit, but I'm not judging you on that. I would just say just get them set her up just a little bit quicker compared to that other one in front of you. So then I go into my 3rd place. At first, when the showman came in, I thought he was pretty all right. He didn't do a whole lot of things wrong. But as I already said, it's the young man over here. He's going to be your 3rd place showman. I think he knows what he wants to do. He knows the heifer she wants to get shown. Go ahead, give him his ribbon. It was just the little things that I thought kind of separated them between him and these other 2 up here. I just like to see him a touch bit more intense. And when I come around to look on the off side of the show feet, you did get them split how we're supposed to. Are you supposed to show me that side? But I'd like to see more smoothness in you when you go from that transition from being in front of them to being on the side of them. It looked a little rough there, and it breaks my heart to break these little things because showmanship is subjective, and it's just my personal opinion on how I kind of saw it. So then it came down to these last 2 young ladies. One of them got it right. One of them got it wrong. But and I'm kind of going off of that on my showmanship because they both show very similarly. They're both ultra competitive. They both come in here wanting to win this thing. I like them both. I would love for them to both show either of my cattle. I like the way you hold that halter. You hold it with a little bit more uppity up on that nose, and that gives those cattle a little bit more conformality. You hold it with both hands. You know that heifer needs to be set up every time perfectly, and you do a great job at that. The young lady with the Holstein heifer, she comes in here, and one thing I like, especially in the beef cattle, is when you're walking, don't stomp when you walk. Kind of make it a smooth walk, but don't walk too fast, don't walk too slow. And I really like the way she walks. She really wants to make sure that when she's walking backwards, her foot is hitting the ground before that other one leaves. And it just looks like she's comfortable in here. It looks like she's done this a few hundred times, even though she's probably one of the younger ones in here. She does a very nice job, and she gets them stuck very well. But the question that I asked was, what breed is your heifer? And they all nailed that. And then I followed up with the question of what age should these heifers be calving at? And the answer is 2 years. One of them gave me 1.5 years, and I think the other one gave me 2 years. So with that being said, the Holstein heifer, young lady's your champion, and your Jersey Wagyu reserve. For Showman.
In fourth place, Riley Pollock. Third place, Stephen Banta. Second place, Trinity Blackburn. And in first place, Hannah Yent. Next in the ring, we have Class 3 FFA Advanced Showmanship. This is the first call for Class 1 FFA Novice Beef Cattle Showmanship. Again, this is the first call. Please be ready at the ringside.
We got a single entry here in our FA division. I know you guys think FA is just blue jackets and gold ties, but I guess we got a Nevada girl here showing, and she decided to wear her Grange outfit. So I was a little confused, but nothing against that. I really do like the Grange organization just as much as I do the 4-H. Nothing against the FA, but this girl does a very nice job. She stands there. She wants to be calm. The heifer's there. Heifer wants to get shown. She got a good job a fit job on it. She knew that I needed to have those legs offset. And I didn't really ask her any questions because she kind of won this deal pretty handily. But I did ask her some questions about her heifer of what her name is, what her age is, when we're going to get her bred, what's going to be the bull that's going to go inside of her. But I just kind of want to get to know her and see where she's going to go with this project because it is a pretty helpful little project she has here. But let's give a round of applause to your grand champion, Ffa Showman.
In first place, Audrina Banta. Now entering the ring is Class 1 of Beef Showmanship, FFA Novice. This is the first call for FFA Advanced Showman. Please be ready.
All right, so we're back out here, and this is a little bit more my style. My brother was the dairy cattle showman. They called him the dairy cattle guru a whole bunch of times in the show ring, and I was more the beef cattle guy. But nothing to take away from that. These kids are excellent showmen. It seems like they want to be out here. They have a good attitude, even though their animals aren't really working with them the best. But once they get them almost stuck, they kind of work themselves out. If we're listening on ringside, there's a couple things I want to mention that I'd like to see these kids come in doing. I really like to see when their thumb is pointed to them when they're holding them right now. Just turn it around. Grab it a different way. There you go, just like that. That's a big thing for me. And then another big thing is a safety thing, and this is what this kid in the red Angus steer has. He has his comb turned outwards right now, and that's not really a showmanship etiquette thing. That's more of a safety thing. That's how other animals or exhibitors might get hurt in the show ring. So if you wouldn't mind, just turn that show comb around for me. Thank you. But with that being said, I come in here and immediately it was kind of hard. It wasn't easy. Both animals weren't really acting right. They didn't know what to do. But when it comes down to the end right here, he's really not acting that great. I think this is Novice. This is your first time showing beef. Is that correct? I commend you guys because it's not an easy project. This is a challenging project to show. So I have my first place. I have my second place. I'm going to go ahead and pick the young lady with the crossbred heifer here for champion novice showman, and then the boy will be second.
Now entering the ring is Heat 1 of FFA Advanced Showmanship. This is the first call for Heat 2. Please be ready.
All right, so we're back out here for our FA division, and it's a little intense. There's a top four and a bottom four, and I have to bring back a top four. And I went through and talked through all these kids and gave them some things that I liked and some things I didn't like, and I want to see them improve and how they react. There weren't big things like just how you hold the halter, where you're positioned, how you move your feet. When I'm on the off show side, I want to be able to see that head and that neck and be able to see that whole front end. And when you cover it up, even if it is at the ears, I'm not seeing how youthful he is in his head and his neck. So when you cover that up and I'm on that off show side, it makes it challenging for me to see it. There was a handful of them that did do it and some that didn't. And I did go through there and I did talk to them individually, and I felt like they adapted and they overcame it. And then there's one kid like this one right here. He came in here every day. He came in here and got him stuck. What I had with him was that he got a little too close to that one in front of him almost every time, and then even on the side by side. But he comes in here, he gets him stuck. So with that being said, no bias on how they came in here. I like them as these 5 are going to come back, and then these 3 will be excused. And I encourage you guys to come back and watch these seniors and come back and compete, because it's going to get hot in here. It's going to get real competitive, and I still don't have my mind made up on who's going to win this deal. But I encourage you guys to come back and take a look and watch and learn and hear my comments, and we'll go through here and we'll do another heat here in a minute. But let's give them a round of applause.
Now entering the ring is Heat 2, FFA Advanced Showmanship. Currently entering the ring is Heat 2. Following Heat 2, we'll have the FFA Advanced Drive.
So we're down to our second heat, and one will be our champion drive. But let's give these kids a round of applause for making it to the ring. When I go to these families that shows, I really put an emphasis on showmanship, because that's one thing that I didn't really get when I was growing up. So I really want to make sure that the younger generation can do a little bit better than I did. So showmanship is a little bit of my forte that I like to do. Some people think it's for the second loser. I don't agree with that. I think it's a way for these kids to showcase their skills and to really express how knowledgeable they are in their projects. But with that being said, I picked out 4 kids in here that are going to go on to the next group. I talked to them all. I gave them some little things that I thought they could all do better in, and some things I really appreciated about them. And I encourage them all to come back and really watch this and continue watching it all the way through the Pee-wees or the juniors. I don't know if we have Pee-wees. We have Pee-wees today. Heck yeah, I love the little ones. But for my top 4 that I'm going to go with today is going to be the kid with the white steer in the lead, the young lady with the white-faced, the young man with the black, the young lady with the black steer, and then the white steer at the end. So that was actually 5. My apologies, guys, but we're going to bring back 5 again.
Now entering the ring is the Ffa Advanced Drive. This is the first call for Class 1 4-H Novice. Please be ready.
All right, so we're back out here for our Ffa Advanced Beef Showman. Let's give these kids a round of applause. I'm gonna let these kids over here continue to sweat it out and work it out, because right now I haven't made my decision yet, but there's a handful in here that these 4 in here that are gonna continue to stay competing, and I'm gonna go ahead and go through here and talk about them. I'll start down here. We got 8. We got 10th. We got 10th down here. Sorry, that's as far as I can count. Kid comes in, shows him, gets him stuck. I just want to see a little bit more oomph out of you. I want to see you be able to get back and get in front of that steer's head. And then also when you walk, I want to see you able to walk a little bit smoother. I know it's hard for you to do, but with practice, it comes with it. And but still, very nice job, young man. Come down to the kid that was in that last heat, right? You were in the last heat, or the first heat. First heat. You were showing good there, and then a couple of times when I come up to come up and on the side of you, you kind of just stop moving your show stick. It's hard for me to separate you guys because you guys all show very, very well, so there's going to be little things that's going to separate each and every one of you. But that was it. It was, and you didn't get them quite set up as quick as some of the others. But when I come up to you and I'm looking at your calf and I'm keep looking at the same spot, guys, I'm acknowledging that there's something wrong there and we need to get it fixed. Some of you have done that, some of you haven't, but the biggest thing with you is when I came over there, you just stopped moving your show stick for some reason, and I don't know if you just got nervous or under pressure, but that's just the little thing that separates you. Young man that comes in with the white steer, we got a couple white steers in here. The white steer in here, you came in, you looked the part. I just want to see a little bit more relaxed and then get those feet set up a little bit better. If you watch these top end exhibitors, they walk their steers into place. I want to see you guys to walk them into place and not use that show stick. When I pick my champion, I'll try and show you guys what I'm looking for. But with practice, it comes with it. And if you do it every day, eventually they naturally want to stand like this. Stand like on the profile. If you ever go out to a pasture, guys, and you see a calf standing on profile and they stand like how they're standing right now, it usually means they're comfortable on their skeleton, and that's kind of why we get them set up the way we set them up. Some judges have preferences if they want them squared when they're side by side or profile. That is the judge's opinion. Personally, I like them profile. I know you guys are trying to do it square, and I definitely appreciate it because it is a hard thing to do. We come to our 7th place. She was a tough one. You were in there when you came in this first deal. You could have easily won this deal. Like when you came in, I was like, all right, here's a competitor. She has her stuff together. She wants to win this thing. And like I said, it comes down to these little things, and the steer kind of died on her at the end. And then over there in the corner, I pulled the steer out there in front of her, and it took her a good 30 seconds to realize that she had to move forward. And that's just these little things that separate us. These two young ladies that come in together, they show very similar. They're both kind of casual and just kind of in the show ring and just looking the part, and they don't do anything extra special. They kind of get their calf set up. Sometimes they both get them stretched a little too much on their front end. So that's why I kind of paired them up together, and I think it just takes more time and a little bit more practice, and they both nailed the question. It was just right there at the end, you got them a little too stretched, and it's just how things played out. But still, I commend you too. So showmanship is subjective, as I've already mentioned, and there's little things that I like to pick on in trying to separate them, and especially when it comes down to these top two. They both show very similarly. They both get it done, but I'm going to go ahead and pick my 4th place. 4th place is going to be the young man here. Go ahead and put him over here. You know, his steer didn't act too well the other day, and I shouldn't base that on how I did showmanship, but a couple of times he came in here and he got the steer stuck. He gets him a little offset sometimes, but he notices when I'm looking at something that needs to be fixed, and that's something I commend him on. I teach all my young kids this. I tell them when the judge is over there and he's looking at the foot or the back or the tailhead, it means he wants it fixed. And that was one of the kids that actually did that. And I commend him on coming back in here. He looked the part. He got the steer stuck, and I just want to see a touch bit more intensity at it. I want to see you like walk with a little bit more oomph to your step and be a little bit more confident when you come in. But still, very good job, young man. These three young ladies, guys, I don't know. This is tough. This is a whirlwind. I'm gonna do another little competition right here. I'm gonna do one more thing on them because I want to see how they act with another person's animal. So I'm going to go ahead and grab hers, and she's going to go ahead and grab the front, and then we're going to move down, and I'm going to give you guys another round to really fight it out. All right? We're going to go ahead and excuse these kids, but give them a round of applause. Okay, so these are our top 3. These young ladies that came in here, they did a fabulous job all day. They stand out. They know what needs to get done. They come here with a calm, cool, collected look. They get their calf set up in a timely manner. They know what it takes to get their calf set up, and they all walk them into place. There's 2 young ladies that really stand themselves apart, and there's another lady that I really like, and she does a very good job. It was just came down here at the end. Nobody did my biggest test thing, so I'm going to give you guys a little piece of advice. When we switch animals, and this goes for the kids in the back if you're listening, when we go to switch animals, and I hand it to you, or you hand it to me, whatever it is, and you get your new animal, be sure to reset them. Don't sit there and keep scratching on them. Be sure to actually pull them forward or do a lap like what the middle steer did over here. Reset them completely, because otherwise you're just taking the other person's hard work and just going forward with it. So young lady with the gold steer, you're third. Okay? Go ahead and give her a round of applause. She did a great job. And I know you guys think I just like these steers because they were my Grand Reserve steer, but that's not the case. These are still very good showmen. They do all the extras. They stand there. They keep the belt buckle in line with the nose when they're walking. They hit both feet at the ground when they're walking. They can walk them both into place. I think there's a lady in here that does it a little bit better, and she gets her calf set up to 100% every time. And it really just came down here at the end, you two. You guys both hold your show sticks. You guys both hold your head up high when you walk out of the show ring, because both of you are very good showmen. I'd love to have you on the show stick on any of my calves. But for me today, I'm going to go ahead and use the lady in front of me for Grand Champion Showman and the young lady behind her for Reserve.
In 5th place was Peyton Johnson. 4th place, Connor Holland. 3rd place, Dominique Enriquez. 2nd place, Juanita Joseph. And in 1st place, Tara Rossi. Now entering the ring is Class 1 4-H Novice Showmanship. Now in the ring is Class 1 4-H Novice Showmanship. This is the first call for Class 2 4-H Juniors. Please be ready.
All right, this is our novice 4-H group. We have a 50-50 shot of getting it right with me. So if you did disagree, it's all right. But they both show very, very well. They both want to be in here. I can see it in their faces. They're trying. Both their steers are kind of acting like buttheads. One's more of a butthead than the other. But I'm going to go ahead and use the young lady in front of me for the champion novice, and then you'll be reserve novice. But you'll come back in.
In second place, Madison Benninger, and in first place, Dylan Mitchner. Now entering the ring is Class 2 4-H Junior Showmanship. This is the first call for Class 3 4-H seniors. Please be ready.
Let's give these youngsters a round of applause. I'm going to let my top 5 keep sweating it out because I think they need to. I haven't quite found my winner or my 5th place yet, but I'm going to keep letting them go after it, and I'm going to critique these right here. Yeah. Young man, when you came in here, I just didn't quite feel it from you. It just didn't look quite the part. You want to be here. I can see it in your eyes. The calf just didn't quite get set up as quick as the others in front of you. But if I had to change some things about you, I want to see that thumb pointed to him. So let's switch your hand. So it's pointed to him. Go one more time. Switch it and point it to him just like this. Again. Okay. When they hold them like that, guys, this is the reason I like them held like, because you're stronger in your bicep than you are in your tricep, and that's the muscle that you're going to be using. When you lead them, you can lead them almost however you want. But when you're standing there on the profile, that is how you should kind of be standing. But that would be a thing I'd like to change about you. The next young lady that comes in there, I felt like you did a lot of the right things. You want to be here. I can see it in your attitude. You have the good personality to be here. It's just little things that kind of separated you. I would start off by getting a longer show stick because you're a little too short, or vertically challenged is what we call it. It will help you reach those back legs a little bit easier, and then maybe a little bit more practice to compete with some of these top 5, and I want to see you walk into it a little bit smoother, but still a very nice job. These next 3, it was a toss-up. You guys all right there. It was a little challenging for me. I think you might have dropped your show stick over there on the corner, or you might have like hit it against the fence. Just kind of hold that show stick out there in front of you. If you watch, there's my Ffa girls. They had their show stick out there in front of them. That shows that we're in charge. We know what we're doing. We're here to come show steers. When you hold it on your side, guys, it's showing like you're not really here. You don't really want to be here, but I want to see you when you're leading them, hold it out there in front of you, not to the side. And that's kind of how you got it hooked up on the corner. Young lady, like I just said, it was a little toss-up in between you all. I would like to see you just scratch him on his brisket and his belly. Put your feet together. Get out there in front of him. Kind of put your back up, your chest out, and just look the part. And then get those front feet straight up and down. That's really big. Once you guys get the front feet straight up and down, the back feet will naturally want to set up as an offset. But we got to get those front feet straight up and down, and that's the easy part to do. Here we go. Young man, you were one of them that came in with a little bit too long of a show lead. I would cut that in half a little bit. I don't want to have a tripping hazard on any of them. And then you just didn't set yourself apart to make that top 5 over here. I want to see some more oomph. I want to see your feet together. I want to see you out there in front of the calf, but feet together. There you go. There you go. That's a lot better. And then maybe scratch him on his brisket. Her brisket. That's a lot better. And put your elbow down. Straight. There you go. Now scratch him. Loosen up the shoulder. You don't need to be so tight, but very nice job, young man. And then it came down. There you go. Give those kids a round of applause. Some of you guys think this job might be easy out here, and I'm sure if you guys want to come out here and join me one of these times, it's a lot harder than it sounds. It's not easy being out here having all these steers and all these families here looking at you, because I'm just one man and one man's opinion. And showmanship's subjective. It's my personal preference. These are the way I like to see things done with the kids that I raise and the families that I help. I think showmanship's a big part of our industry. I think it kind of helps these kids grow and mold into be better adults and handle adversity. So if a steer's acting like a butthead, we got to learn to be calm and just keep doing the same things on what we've been doing. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and talk these kids the way I see them being placed, okay? Young lady down here at the end, she's going to be your 5th place. She didn't do anything extra special. She didn't really stand out a whole lot, but every time I kind of looked at her, she got her feet set up. She didn't just give that extra oomph, that extra spark that I'm looking for, but still a very nice showman. I just want to see a little bit more personality in you, a little bit more smile, maybe a little bit, just a little bit of a, there you go, just loosen up a little bit, because this deal, it's not a rodeo, it's not a time competition. We're here to show off our animal at its best, its billies, and that's kind of what showmanship is. We're not in a race. It's not a real high-level competition. This is just a county fair steer show. Came down to my top 4. I'm going to go ahead and use the girl at the other end here. She nailed the question. She did exactly what I was looking for. The question I asked these kids was, tell me a little bit of something about your calf. And by that, it's kind of an open-ended question. That means you can tell me anything you want. Go from the name to the birth date to how much he weighs to his favorite color or what he likes to eat. I don't care what you say. Just give me some facts. I want to hear you guys talk and be confident in your project. And then the other question I asked was, what is his average daily gain? I got answers from 1.5 to 4.5. I think 1.5 to 2.5 is acceptable. 4.5, that's a lot of pounds to be putting on one. It's not saying nothing's impossible because everything's possible, but that's a lot. But when I'm asking those questions, I just want to hear you guys talk. Just be comfortable with me. She did an absolute hands-down job. You answered that question excellently. I just don't know if you have the showmanship qualities to compete with these other 4. It was just those little things that separated you from those others. It's just it gets competition in here, and like right now, I'd like to see you make a bigger circle and get them set up a little bit better. Okay, but still a very nice job, young lady. Top 3, good job, guys. This is a tough spot to be in. Okay. I didn't get to be top 3 like my brother and sister did. Now they're younger. They got a lot of coaching and a lot of advice from me, so they saw a lot of my mistakes. But I think I only got a couple blue ribbons, not as many as they did though. But I still know what I'm talking about. I've still seen kids do very well under my command. For these top 3, it's these little things. Like I said in the Ffa, there's nothing I don't like or do like. It's just little things of how it came down to how the other person was showing their steer compared to you. Whether it's a timely thing, whether it's your steer's acting like a butthead and theirs are not. It's just how the cards lay, and it's how I kind of saw it today. But for 3rd place, I'm going to go with the young lady down here who came out of our junior division. She did everything right, guys. Like, she's an excellent showman. Her steer wants to get shown. He walks there with his head up. He can set his feet the way he's supposed to be set up, even though he's not doing it right now. She knows he needs to be set up a certain way, and she's trying her little heart out. I commend that little girl for coming in here and sticking to it, not getting overexhausted. I went over there. I told her, just take a deep breath, stay after it. He still kind of calms down a little bit, but today's just not his day. She did lay on me a little fact about him, that he was blind in his right eye, so maybe he's just a little confused of what everything's going on here, but still a very nice young lady, and she did an excellent job showing her calf. Thank you. These 2 kids come in here. Neither of them are perfect. Neither of them are bad. There's just some things that need to be switched up, and you guys both do a nice job. You come in here with a good amount of confidence. You want to get the steer shown. You stand there with both feet together. You know how to move around the steer when I'm wanting to look at his head and his neck, and you get them set up to the best of their abilities. To me, I just think there's one exhibitor in here that just steps up above and beyond. He really wants to get it done, and I just let it go. Young man, you're your champion. He's not perfect. If there's one thing I want to critique him, this is a safety issue. I want to see that lead cut in half. I don't need you stepping on it. I don't need the steer stepping on it. But other than that, you want to get this steer set up. He wants to get set up. It seems like you've been in here before. You do a great job. You're the first place. Young lady, you're just right there. It just didn't quite match up with your day-to-day. He was just a touch bit better than you, but I still commend you for coming in here and doing an excellent job. So congratulations.
In 5th place, Tanner Ludwig. 4th place, Taryn Mitchner. 3rd place, Dylan Mitchner. 2nd place, Madison Benninger. And in 1st place, Will Kemp. Now entering the ring is Class 3 4-H seniors.
So we're down to our final class we have here, and showmanship is its own thing, and it's all about you making yourself look good. And I can go help all these families out all I want and give them my little pieces of advice of what I think I could see that would make them better. But in the end game, guys, it's what you look like and how you present your animal. I can't do that all the time. I can just give you the big things and sometimes the little things, but that body posture, that feet placement, that little smirk on your face that you're doing, or the serious look that you're doing, you got to make it look like you're out here and you want to be out here to win. I'm not saying they do or they don't, but showmanship is a very subjective subject, and it's not easy for me to be out here because I'm essentially judging your kids of how they look and how they place their animal, and it's not an easy thing for me to do. And I appreciate having the opportunity to come out here. I appreciate Jen calling me and Kate organizing it. But I have a job to do out here, and I got to place it the way I see it. I'm gonna let these top three out here keep going after it and getting that ultra cool silhouette profile look that I'm looking for. I might give them another half lap and give it another shot, but I'm going to keep my eye on them while I critique these guys over here. Young man, I would just like to see you out in front of that calf. I don't need you to be on the side. I need you to turn your body and have it being face me. Right now you're facing the calf. There you go. And then when you're scratching on him, actually make sure you're actually using that show stick and not just rubbing it on his belly. That show stick's meant to use it as a tool, but you don't want to overuse that tool. You want to try and be able to walk them into place. And I feel like these three up here can do that pretty well. I'll talk and see what I see in my champion, see if that person can do it, and I'll try and show you guys. But I need to be able to see them walk them into place. Using that show stick on their front feet, you shouldn't have to do that when you get to this level. It's meant to aid your help. But for you, young man, I just want to see you more comfortable. Get that head up, get those back feet offset, and you'll be pushed up in the class a little bit more. Young lady with the chromed up steer, your steer's acting like a butthead right now, and I don't know what his deal is, but he just doesn't want to be out here today, and he doesn't want to stand still. He's kind of doing his own gig, but some things that might help you in the next show that you decide to go to, mom, dad, future 4-H leaders, Ffa advisors. When we put these halters on these calves, it's very important that we get them high up on their nose. They have more control of them. It's not going to irritate the calf. They're going to work better. I feel like that halter might be a little bit too low, and this is something that I learned when I was like 16. So don't feel bad that that I'm telling you like this, but it'll help you control that calf better and make your day a little bit more easier. Okay. Kind of the same thing, young man. You wanted to be here. That calf, I can feel like you wanted to be there. I just need to see a little bit more to you. I need you to hold it by the chain, and then put your thumb to him. Point your thumb to him. Completely turn your hand completely around, like this. There you go. Now we look like a real showman. That's excellent. And then hold it on the chain, never on the leather. Okay. But another thing about showmanship, guys, is showmanship etiquette. So when you see in a calf leading around the show ring, you're going to earn a lot of points by me if that calf decides to stop and you decide to help him. If you help that other kid maybe look a little bit better, you're going to get bumped up. You're going to earn some points. But if you just stand there and just watch that girl or boy struggle, it's going to hurt you in points. So work together. Use the whole show ring is a couple of things I would like to recommend to these down here. And then I get down to these two. Same thing in like that last group. You guys were very similar. It came down to right here. You guys both had them squared up on the profile and you were a touch bit stretched out. And that's why I kind of pulled you the way in here. Young lady, every now and then you got your calf set up to a T. He was set up to like 90 to 95% perfect, and I enjoyed looking at him like that. But the other time when he puts his head down, it hurts you and makes him go backwards. But I appreciate those good things that you show me off of them. Young lady with the white calf, you didn't do a whole lot of things wrong. You just didn't have that extra oomph, that style that I'm kind of looking for. But I can tell you are a good showman, and you do want to be here, and you look the part. But I'm going to go ahead and talk my top three. You guys move closer to me. Okay. Let me give them one more little test, and then I'll go through there, and I'll talk your top three, and we'll get on out of here because I'm sure we're all getting a little cranky. But let me give them one more test and see how they respond, and I'll go through there and pick your grand champ. So I asked these kids some questions earlier, and they were the same question I asked the novice group, and that was just tell me some things about your calf. I felt like these kids answered a lot better. They gave me everything from how much they feed them to the clean water, to fresh clean water, to free amounts of hay, to how much they're gaining, and that was nice to hear. And I didn't have to keep asking follow-up questions, and a lot of them just answered it head on. And then the other question I asked was like, how much is their average daily gain? And I felt like these top three pretty much answered it, and they got it correct. And they all answered it roughly from 2.5 to 3.5 pounds. But it came down to, I tried a little test out there. So my test was I wanted to see if you guys would reset your animal when I had you switch with another. You're supposed to either walk it back a few steps, we'll just walk them into a different look, or do a complete lap. And I think that the one gentleman, you definitely did it. You were the only one to do it out of those three. And I don't want to take that into I am taking that into consideration of how I'm going to place you. But I felt like there was I'm just going to go ahead and place them, make it easier on myself. young lady, you're going to be third. You just didn't quite set yourself apart from these other two. These other two right here, they have it. They're in it. Their animal gets set up every time. They know how their animal looks. They want to make it look that way every time. And you're like right now, you're just a little offset. You're burying yourself in the hole. You're not quite straight. And it is what it is when it comes down to the showmanship thing. And it's just the way I kind of see it. But you were third. Very good job. Very respectful job. There you go. Give her a round of applause. These other two, like I said, the one kid, he did move his around, and he knew I wanted to see that. He holds the show stick correctly. He holds the halter right. He stands there right. He stands there with both feet together. He's in front of his calf. I would like to see you walk your calf into place a little bit more. That's why you're going to be second. Young lady, you're first.
In 5th place, Zoe Daly. 4th place, Madison Benninger. 3rd place, Trinity Blackburn. 2nd place, Will Kemp. And in 1st place, Reese Urton. That concludes our cattle showmanship. We will have Pee Wee showmanship here at 6 o'clock.